Hey guys, it's BW and we're back out in the garage. Before we get started, could I ask you to subscribe to my channel? It'd go a long way into supporting us. Thanks. Alright, let's get the show on the road. Today we're going to be putting a roll bar in our 1955 Chevy Gasser, and we're starting off the day. It's Pennsylvania weather. It's a blistery 61 degrees. We got the garage doors up and we're going to have a little fun doing some install work. The struggle's real, Dan. All right, so we went ahead and started laying out where we're going to put the perforations in the floor for the roll bar. The first thing I did was I ran a string line from B post to B post in the back. The directions say they want the post in the front, but I'm going to run it from the back forward, so it's going to still be behind the post, but I'm going to go as far back as I can. So what we did was we dropped the plumb bob from this string straight down, and Kim made a mark while I was holding the plumb bob right there. So if anything on this job goes wrong from here forward, it was Kim's fault. All right, at least that's my story. But we went ahead and we measured from side to side, and it's like 64 and some change, and then the centers on this is like 43 1/4. We did our adding and our subtracting. We found the center mark and we came over, verified all the measurements, and we've determined that we're going to measure from this line forward 3/4 of an inch and drill our holes. All right, on both sides. We're going to use a 2-inch hole saw. We want a little bit of room when this comes through, because if you guys notice, mine bends in. So the centers at this point right here are 43 1/4. But if you come down like 3 inches, it's 44 1/2. So we're going to need that little bit of room to get the bar to go down into the hole. And then I have these 3x3 angle irons, all right? And they're going to be what people call our outriggers. We're going to, after we got the hole in there, we're going to clamp them onto the frame and drop the hoop down on there. And then we're going to tack the hoop. And then we'll take the clamps off, drop it down, weld the hoop out, and pick everything back up and reclamp it to the frame, and then weld our outriggers to the frame. That's the plan. All right. Now, anybody that participated in that last night's live, we had a discussion on whether or not we need to use the plates. I'm just going to put them on just because I don't think we need them. But I've read so many different articles, and everybody had so many different opinions, and I will make this hole 1 3/4 so that it's nice and tight, so we can weld the hoop here as well, so it'll be secured to the frame and the floor. All right, we're going to do it on all 4 of them. So that's the plan. I'm going to get set up to drill these holes right now, and I'll bring you guys in. All right guys, well, that was weird. I had an SD card error. I don't know. Anyway, we got the holes drilled out on these 2 front plates. Use this old Craftsman drill press. You know, I've had this thing since, I guess my son was like 5 or 6. He gave it to me for a Father's Day present. He was real proud of it. But let me tell you, that little thing, it's still kicking, man. If it works, it works. All right, so I got to just wipe this plate down with some acetone, get the oil off of it, and it'll be ready to go. It did help me to make the decision. I'm going to keep the 1 3/4 hole saw in there rather than the 2-inch, because it fits nice. They fit nice on this. All right, there's a little bit of room. If I need a little bit more, I'll just open it up with my rotary file on one side or the other, whatever it needs. But I don't want it to be any looser than this. All right, I'd like to keep my welds nice and tight. So we're happy with this. So my next move, I'm going to drill the holes here and on that side. I've already tried to get the hoop in once. It's way too high. So hopefully I'll be able to maneuver it in there and get it through the 2 holes I'm about to drill. I'm going to put a blanket over our dash. I don't want to get anything scratched up in case something gets away from me. All right, so I'm going to get it up in there. I'm going to drill these holes, get it up in there, and then I'll bring you guys right back in. Or I could turn the camera around. I guess I could do that and let you watch me struggle. It's... So I'm thinking about trying to pry at it a little bit. If I had a little bit more room on this outside edge of the sheet metal right here, I think I might be able to get it right here. Let's take a look at it up top. It's hugging there real tight, but it's also hugging the frame real tight right there. So it's snug. All the slop is on this side of the sheet metal hole, and there's nothing at the frame and there's nothing in the back here. So I don't know how much more I can really get this down. All right, so let me mess with it for a minute and I'll get right back with you. All right, guys, well, I figured this is a good time just to bring you right back in. All I did was get my rotary file and I elongated this hole, and it dropped down in even further. There's enough flex in the bar where it'll go in up and down however I see fit. We have level here. We're behind B post. We're level on the other side, I promise. And then we're level across here. Okay, so I'm really happy. What I'm gonna do is I am gonna elongate this some more because I want it to flex even more, because I'll show you why right now. All right, so these are our outriggers, 1/4 inch angle iron. All right, I'm gonna weld them to the frame and weld the bar to the frame. So, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay this angle iron on here. I'm gonna make it level, right? Clamp it. Then I'm gonna mark the pipe and scribe the pipe, and we'll cut that off. And then by elongating that sheet metal there, I'll be able to push this down to where it's down here, where I can weld that pipe the whole way around this angle iron, and then we can just pull it back up into place, reattach the angle iron to the frame with a clamp, and weld it out. Okay, guys, well, we got everything cut and in place, and I figured a good time to bring you back in and show you exactly what we did. First of all, you can see we're plumb. Okay, so, and if we put it up here, oh goodness, we're also plumb. Okay, our cuts are really nice and flat against our angle iron outriggers. You can see right there, see how flat they sit, and see the angle they're on. I'll come out to the table and show you in a minute. All right, but what I'm about to do is I'm about to tack this to the angle iron on both sides, and then we're going to take this C-clamps loose, drop it down so I can weld them pipes 360 degrees around on there without much issue. Then I'll bring it back up and we'll weld out the angle iron. The only place where I may have a little issue is right in the middle of that pipe, and we'll address that when we need to. All right, so let me bring you right out and show you the pipe cutoffs. All right, we only cut once. We measured 50 times. All right, you can see that the hoop wasn't perfect. One size is larger than the other, but that's the way it wanted to sit to be level. All right, and you can see the angle that it's on, see? So I traced as much as I could around the one side of the angle iron, and I just made sure that that wafer wheel, nice full big wafer wheel, followed the mark the whole way through, and that's how we got it to sit flat. Right, there was no additional grinding or anything. It just fell right on. All right, try to do everything nice and neat. Let you guys check out this side. It's the exact same situation. All right, got the pipe sitting nice and flat on our angle iron outrigger. That will never go anywhere. All right, so there you are with that. So let me get these pieces tacked. I may need to bring the garage doors down. It's beautiful out, but it's windy. So I just want to get these tacked, and then I want to take the clamps off, and I'll push the bar down so that we can get to everything, and I'll bring you back in and show you. All right, guys. Well, I got the driver's side welded to the angle iron. I'll show you what I did. Like I said, I pushed it down in here where we could get to it. And I mean, even though it's right down here, you still can barely get to it if you don't have a monkey shield. All I got is these old regular shields. They don't even flip down. So the overhead room's not great, but we got it really good. There's a little tiny bit of spatter, but I'm told the tech don't want to see grinding, so I can only use the wire wheel, and I'll chisel at them a little bit. But yeah, hey man, we got it. I think also what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it up in there. Oh, that's still warm. I'm gonna put it up in there, and I'll definitely be able to weld the 3 sides, and then I'll see if I can get, when I bring the MIG up around, if I can get in here. If not, I think what I'll do is I'll just wrap it in tin foil and then I'll cut a little slot right here so I can weld the top of it. Because if you come around and look in the back, let's come around and check the back. Hopefully you guys can see all this. If you come around and you see the back, okay, it's welded all the way and it's right up to it. So I feel like if I run my vertical and then come up and over, I'll be okay. If not, I will cut a little slot in the floor. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, you see how this part's hanging down and that one's only down a little bit. I'll lift this one up and put that one down and weld that one out and bring you back. Guys, I just wanted to bring you in real quick. This is the passenger side and show you we got it all the way around. I'm sorry guys, I keep getting these SD card, when I put it on quick view, I keep getting these SD card problems. But let me clean that little bit of smoke up right there, and then I'm going to pick this thing up and we'll get ready to weld the angle irons to the frame. All right, I'll be back in a few. All right guys, well we're right back where we started. We have, but except for our angle irons are welded on, and now we're clamped back to the frame. Okay, we're going around checking our measurements. We're level. If you look at the bubble here, okay, it just favors the line on the driver's side, but if you turn around and you check it on the dash, you get the exact same reading. So we're happy with that. I'm roughly from right here to the center of the bar, we're roughly 1.5 to 1.5. Same on that side. Like I say, I'll tack this one, looking at the level, making sure, get the angle iron tacked in. I'll go over there, check it, and tack that one. But I feel like we're at a good height. Like I said, we still should be able to get a headliner in there, no problem. All right, I left it down just a hair. It looks really good in the location where it's at, right? So I'm gonna, when I weld the vertical up, I'll try to bring my MIG around. I'm hoping I can just get behind there. I think I can. If I go in on both sides, I could probably meet in the middle. Worst case scenario, we'll just cut a little slot to get in there, but I don't think we're gonna need to. All right, you've seen how I had to elongate these holes. This one's a little more elongated than that one, but not much. I just opened this one up just a little bit more with my plasma cutter so I could drop that bar down as far as I could to get a good penetration weld onto those outriggers. Obviously, you guys see I got the plates, they're there. So once we get this all welded in, we'll drop the plates down. All right, guys, well, we were able to get the safety hoop welded to the angle irons and the angle irons welded to the frame. All right, so there you go. This one's welded in. Come out really good. All right. I was able to get the the MIG and wrap it up around there real good and get it the whole way through. All right. So tomorrow we'll weld the plates down and then weld the plates to the hoop. All right, go over and show you real quick. The passenger side's also done. We had a really good day today, guys. I mean, we still got the doors up, but it is starting to get cold. It's going to drop into the 30s tomorrow, but we might have a couple 60s next week too. All right, so we're happy about that. Love working with the garage door open. All right, so we got this side welded up too. All right, and get that side, and the same thing, guys. I was able to come up around and weld it all the way up around there, no problem. All right, so we're satisfied with that. All right, we MIG, and we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing here, get the plate welded down and get it welded to the hoop tomorrow. All right, once we get in the cabin and we're doing the cross bracing, we're gonna change weld process. We're gonna switch over to TIG. You know, they don't like to see any grind marks, spatter, and crap. So we're gonna make it look really nice. This was just to get it in nice and tight, you know, come out really good. I'm really happy with it. We're level, we're plumb, we're about as square as it is for the car. You know, we're behind the B posts. You know, you can't see it behind the B post, but it's there, right there. All right, and then I got to work on getting ready to fish mouth these pipes here, the cross brace. I got to fish mouth that. We'll get that put in, and after we get the cross brace fish mouth and put in, then we'll work on the down struts. That's going to be a good job. All right, we're going to do that basically the same way that I just did the hoop. We'll work it so I'll get everything tacked in. I'll have the fish mouths right where I want them, and I'll use my magnets to hold them, and I'll get that back tacked, and then I can drop the pipes down, weld it the whole way around so we know it's extra prima good, slide it back up in there, and weld the angle irons to the frame. That's my plan anyway. This side of the plan worked. I bet you the next side of the plan works too. At least I think it will. But took about roughly 3.5 to 4 hours. All right, give or take with the breaks in between and everything. Kim and I had a lot going on today. I'm getting awful hungry. I'm gonna get this mess cleaned up. I'm gonna go in and eat. I'll edit and see what we got. If it's getting a little long in the tooth, I'll throw it up. If not, we'll continue on tomorrow. See you.